What is the void theory? Well, first, let's start with void.
Who is the best gamer in the world?
Let me tell you why this is not even an argument. Void has won some of the biggest tournaments in Smash Bros.
Void wins the major!
Multiverses,
Yes!
Rivals of Aether 2, and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Yes!
And he's also cracked at lots of other games. He has a title from EVO, the world's biggest fighting game tournament.
Void and the Cat are your EVO 2022 Multiverses champions!
And of course, he's won Ludwig's Greatest Gamer competition.
Yeah!
Twice.
Round of applause for our back-to-back champion, Void.
Void is the greatest gamer in the world, and he seems unstoppable in every single way. Except there's a problem. He can't seem to crack crew battles. Crew battles are a way for more than two players, usually rivaling regions, to face off against each other, which means if you fail in a crew battle, you don't just let yourself down, you let your whole region down. And for whatever reason, Void seemed to struggle with them and swore them off entirely at one point. This is the story of how he redeemed himself in the greatest crew battle of all time and proved the Void theory to actually be true. Strap in, because this is a long one, but it's worth every single second because I've spent a year researching, scripting, rewriting, and interviewing to make this video an amazing watch for you. You won't find this kind of thing anywhere else on YouTube. And I know that because at the end, I'll tell you how the production of this video was almost not even possible.
This is the craziest story I've ever covered.
We're gonna start by talking about Void and the Void theory, and then how it relates to his home region of SoCal and their rivalry with NorCal. Then, we'll talk about how that rivalry led up perfectly to the greatest crew battle of all time, and how it completely blew away all expectations.
Everybody was so hyped, and especially the way it ended, like, you can't really ask for a better ending than that.
The Void theory states that there is no game and no format he cannot conquer. There's one kryptonite that calls that theory into question: crew battles. A crew battle is a competition between two teams of 4 to 10 players, each with 3 lives, or stocks as they're called in Smash. Each team selects one player to start off with, and those two face off one-on-one. After each game, the loser is out of the crew battle permanently and swapped out for a teammate while the winner stays. The winner's damage goes back to 0, but their stocks don't reset. So if a player loses 2 stocks in the first game, they start the next game with 1 stock, 0 damage. This goes until one team loses by running out of players. It's very common for 2 rivaling regions to face off in a crew battle as a true clash of regional pride. Void lives in and represents Southern California. But the last time he put SoCal on his back was in 2018 during a crew battle between the East Coast and the West Coast, which was mostly SoCal because that's where all the best West Coast players were at the time. Void was number 11 in the world and by far the best player on his team. He was matched against the 5th best player on the opposing team, MVD, who wasn't even in the global top 30. Void was expected to destroy him and probably take out another player afterward, but that is not how it went. Void was the one getting destroyed, only taking 1 stock and losing all 3 of his. SoCal ended up losing the crew battle by 5 stocks, which is quite a bit, but if Void had performed as expected, his team would have won. Maybe the pressure of letting his region down was too much for him. Maybe he didn't feel the regional pride since he's actually originally from Hawaii. Maybe something else, but whatever it was, he let SoCal down, and wouldn't represent SoCal in another crew battle. Until, well, we'll get back to that later. First, a brief history of the SoCal-NorCal rivalry.
I think there's always been somewhat of a rivalry because, usually when you think of your ranked players in a region, it's usually by state. So like you have top 10 in Texas, you have top 10 in New York, top 10 in Jersey, whatever state. California doesn't really work like that, right? We don't have a unified California top 10. We have NorCal top 20, top 10, and SoCal top 20. Usually when people talk about California Smash, they usually think about either NorCal or SoCal.
This rivalry dates back over 20 years to when the top two players were Ken from SoCal and Reciferous from NorCal. In their first encounter, Ken would bring triumph to SoCal first by beating Reciferous in a $200 money match, $200 that he didn't even have. And then he beat him in a tournament, claiming the undisputed title of the King of Smash. This marked the start of SoCal's dominance in the rivalry, which would continue for 15 years. And the length of that reign was all because of an organization called 2GG. At their peak, 2GG hosted regional level tournaments every week and major tournaments every month. This was unheard of. Top and high level players were flying in and out of SoCal all the time, giving the locals some of the best practice in the world on a monthly basis, and it showed. Check this out. At the end of 2018, the new Smash game released, which basically killed Smash 4. So Panda Global released a ranking of the top 100 Smash 4 players of all time. NorCal had just one player on the list, whereas SoCal had a staggering 11. Smash 4 was truly the golden age of SoCal. However, there was something around the corner that could change everything. Genesis is often called the Super Bowl of Smash, and it's held in Northern California. Genesis 6 in January 2019 was Smash Ultimate's first Super Major, which is the highest prestige a tournament can have. With home field advantage and the fresh slate of a brand new game, it was the perfect chance for NorCal to change the narrative. But then, this guy showed up.
And yep, that is my...
Let's cut to top 64. SoCal has 6 players still in, most of which are in winners bracket. NorCal only has 5 left, only one of which is in winners, and he immediately gets knocked into the losers bracket. Slowly but surely, every single player here gets eliminated on the way to top 16, except for Void in winners bracket and Kurama in losers bracket. Kurama was a young prodigy at the time, and NorCal's last hope, but in the first round of top 16, he also fell. And Void, well, he's just getting started.
Facing the edge. Void, you're nuts! You're nuts! Both things have been going his way. See him prevented from landing, and he just goes for the drop zone dare. Closing. We hear the Void chant coming out in the crowd. Oh, and he catches him with the down smash. That's going to be an F. Just so much of the thing about Pichu. Pichu is actually technically stronger, as you can see, almost a KO from center stage at like 7%. 100% TSAP into lens trap situation. Void gets the roll in! And started for the last couple of games. And there he goes. Oh my goodness! Up there, actually. Waits a little bit, but he's have a skip. Oh my goodness! Wow! We saw the KO there. Maybe he missed an input.
I didn't expect to get this far. my bag.
For the low angled side beat, still can catch Pichu's small body. Oh, yeah! He got a little bit underneath the stage to get your opponent to whoops. But down angle. Oh, wait a second! Okay, that's all you have to say. You gotta get sent. Forget about those, man. That's all. Oh, and then, oh, boy, 37% on right now. And there's the up throw. Boy, waits. Train. Oh, that's it, yeah. That's it. Oh, my back down to the stage. The favorite. Oh, still enough. Not the edge, not to shoot early. Oh! He's done, yeah. That's kind of necessary to get away from that thunder. There it is, the down to reverse back.
Wait that to come in. You know how confident Epico is on Pichu, as well as the strong combo game, which may serve Void in closing this one out. 3-1.
Walking over to his opponent, getting that, and wait a second.
Is it done?
That's it.
This is a good spot for Void. Tries to hesitate on pulling the trigger.
Uh-oh, safe stuff right here. Epito's instead of committing super hard. Oh!
Did he
The
survive?
reset in it is. There it is. Luckily for Void, he's going to have to take this. He needs this. He needs this loose. But, oh, okay. Get off me. Just a frame off right there.
I don't know if there's enough Let's Go Void chance in the world right now that can save this man. Not.
The only player that could stop him was MKLeo, the GOAT of Smash Ultimate, during the most dominant year of his career. With this showing, SoCal seemed on top of the world, but it was a castle built on quicksand. After Pichu got heavily nerfed a few months later, Void would fall from number 9 in the world to 38, and then slowly drop Pichu for Sheik. Over the next 4 years, every single top player that made SoCal seem like one of the best regions in the world would either fall off skill-wise or stop competing seriously. which would eventually include Void as well. This is where he exits our story. For now. While SoCal started to crumble, NorCal was triumphing. For the first time in 3 years, a Northern Californian claimed a spot in the global top 50, Kurama at number 37. And then in the latter half of 2019, NorCal would get another player in the top 50, Luis at number 39. This was huge, because in Smash 4, NorCal only ever had one player make top 50 during the game's entire lifespan. These two players would become absolute titans over the next few years. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Luis became a top 10 player online, and offline he ranked top 15 in North America and number 32 in the world. Kurama would make his first big splash at Frostbite in early 2020 by beating the one player that Void couldn't, MK Leo in his prime. Let me put into perspective how monumental this win was. After losing to Kurama, MK Leo would win the whole tournament in what is considered the greatest losers run of all time. He beat the other 3 players in the global top 4, got 4 more wins on top 10 players, and 3 more wins on top 30 players, all without losing a single set besides his loss to Kurama. 3 years later, Kurama would be officially ranked number 11 globally. While NorCal's top talent was on the rise, SoCal was struggling to replace their rapidly retiring top players. The final nail in the coffin was when 2GG disbanded in October 2021, ending the tournaments that made SoCal great. At almost the exact same time, a new venue and tournament series popped up in NorCal.
Honestly, one of the best venues for a tournament, in my opinion. It's run really well, most aesthetic. They have the commentators up in like a booth, up like with glass windows overlooking the venue, huge space, food, drinks.
Guildhouse would do for NorCal almost exactly what 2GG did for SoCal. With the end of 2GG and the dissolving of the old guard, it was up to SoCal's new guard to carry on the torch. At the beginning of 2023, SoCal's new number 1 player was Chase, a rapidly improving Wi-Fi warrior. It was early in his career, but he already showed signs of promise.
The San Diego native will take first prize at the Arcadian, $15,000.
He had just won the Main Stage Arcadian, a huge tournament that barred globally ranked players from entering, which nonetheless had hundreds of players and lots of rising talent. He was now SoCal's only top player. It's January 2023, time for Genesis 9.
Genesis is something very, very special that brings everybody together.
In Genesis, of course, is one of probably 2 Super Bowls of Smash-esque tournaments. One of the only times that you're going to get all of California in one spot.
Because it's nearly impossible to synchronize the schedules of 20 players and get half of them to travel to another region, a crew battle with 10 of the best players from 2 regions is so incredibly rare, which is why Genesis and this crew battle was so special. And I'll get to exactly how stacked this crew battle is in a second, and trust me, it's more than you could possibly expect. On top of that, emotions were riding high, since SoCal was considered the all-time better half of the state, and NorCal was considered the better half right now. SoCal believed in their unproven new guard and wanted to take back the crown.
Yeah, I thought SoCal was going to wipe the floor. I didn't think it was going to be close.
Throughout all the swings of the crew battle, the crowd was going crazy.
Dude, that crowd was wild.
You could tell who was gaining ground just based on whether your left or right eardrum was getting blown out.
Literally, the room was pretty much divided in 2. SoCal was pretty much on the left, NorCal was on the right, and so you just had this back and forth, wedding style chanting going on, which was so funny.
By the very end, no one knew what to expect, and something happened that shocked everyone. These were the lineups of the crew battle, in order of their ratings. To get a sense of how stacked this was, look at the top 10 ranked players from each region's power ranking. Those 20 players had a combined rating of 23,500, and the 20 players in this crew battle have a combined rating of 25,500. That's right, this crew battle was more stacked than each region's power ranking, because you have to make certain attendance requirements to be ranked, which means there were top players from each region that showed up to this crew battle but didn't show up enough to their local tournaments to meet ranking requirements. That's how insane the talent in this crew battle was. And so the battle begins. SoCal sends out their 4th best player, AC, against NorCal's 9th best player, Luisito. At the top is the number of remaining stocks on both sides, and underneath I'm keeping track of the remaining combined rating of each side.
Percent lead like the whole game, but he's gonna die at 90.
Oh, that's
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
There's that max.
I'll give you a stock here and there. I'm just trying to build up rage. What?
Let's go and win the game.
Hey, that's still a win con. 400.
Okay.
Hey, up till traditional fighting game.
Oh, he landed right on it!
What? Thing goes.
Has to give his teammates a chance to play. I respect Luisito for that. What a nice guy. There we go. There's the fair. He could have finished it at any time he wanted. He just chose. He's like, you know what? I don't need all these stuff.
AC, right, had a really good record versus every Mario, and it was kind of like our Kurama counter, and they threw him up first. And he immediately lost. Like,
it was horrible. I mean, AC is one of our stronger players and was one of our stronger players at the time and came with a lot of experience as well. So sending him in first, I think, was the right decision. Luisito, just because I was a newer player, I would say I was more unfamiliar with him. But now I'm very familiar. But at the time, I was more unfamiliar. So when it started and Luisito beat AC, I didn't have the best feeling. And then obviously we're in NorCal, so the crowd was going mental.
Down there. You're no prophet. Everyone knows that.
I am.
Let's go!
Hey.
I was insulting Luisito for being two-faced a second ago. Okay, fine. Luisito didn't want that. He doesn't want this knock. He got enough. He got 4. He doesn't want to be greedy. So the counter pick here to Tyrang's Lucina is the probably the best Wii Fit in the world. That is Varun. Losing, it's actually just conditioning.
Oh, no. See, conditioning,
God.
baby. Run up, instant shield breaker. Baron is rolling around in his graves right now.
every single matchup was kind of a, I don't want to say a matchup check, but it felt like you're seeing a character specialist versus somebody who may or may not have any idea how to play that character. And so I think a lot of SoCal got taken very off guard.
It happens sometimes.
The Nair second hit. You ate Tyrant.
I'm just saying, you got hit by the bad coverage. What does that make you guys?
Okay, fair enough.
But getting onto this, another.
There we go.
Yeah, Arsene up air.
Arsene up air.
It's so funny. Chase came up to me because I believe Chase was our captain at that point. He came up to me and asked, "How'd you feel against Wii Fit? How'd you feel against Wii Fit?" Like the crowd was loud too, so he was like shouting in my ear basically. And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm fine." It's like, "Yeah, I feel confident. Yeah, I'm ready to go." But I was terrified.
We have my actual dad up there, Peckham.
My name's Peckham, originally from Scotland. I'm a Min player from California, and I'm very, very old.
2-frame. Wow, he's still living. Okay, he's gonna be dead. Yeah, look. Even with my NorCal bias, I couldn't pretend he was gonna live through that recovery.
I feel like I also had a lot to prove or a lot of doubt because I primarily played Wi-Fi for so long, and I really had limited offline experience as well. So when I got matched up against him, I didn't think I was going to do very well with the rivalry that NorCal and SoCal has. I didn't want to be the reason that we fell further behind since we're already down by 1 stock, I believe. I felt pretty comfortable when Spot came up to the stage, but also, like I said, it's a lot of pressure, so anything can really happen.
Good Spot too. Like, that's the thing. He can't get in at all. He's going to need a minecart again.
Okay, he does die there. I thought he was going to live.
Blood, baby. Where's your guys' mat stuff? That's the thing. That's the issue here.
Where's our what?
Your mats.
Oh, mats. Yeah, he has none. It doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's the Nair you were talking about, the legendary Peckham Nair.
The
Never
Peckham,
before seen. This is the first.
I'm just saying, Peckham's the type of guy to say, I will not try to do anything super crazy. I will just sit here and arm.
Yeah, Peckham still has like 2 stocks at this point. All right, Peckham is the GOAT. He is handsome. He is going to save us in this crew battle.
Feeling pretty good. I feel like you want to at least take 3. Like you want to like do your job. So taking 4, that's like a benefit if anything. Kind of, chipped away at the deficit. So yeah, I felt really good about that. I felt like I'd done my job. Like the pressure had like fallen off my shoulders, and yeah, we can get back to like our stronger players to like take the lead from them.
But then Luis came to the stage.
Oh my god, yeah, I already knew I lost for multiple reasons, but I played Luis so many times on Wi-Fi. and I already knew how it went. I think I'd beaten him once on Wi-Fi, and I probably like kicked my router or something like that, and that's probably why I won. But yeah, I didn't expect to take any stocks. He's like super good at the matchup. He's super good at exploiting habits.
It's not. That's unfortunate. Wow, that was a great warp call out with that up smash by Peckham. Wait, who am I rooting for right now? Oh my god.
Hey,
oh, yo, let's go, Luis! Why? Because he knows he doesn't need to do anything fancy. He's got this game. Down tilt fair. Yeah, good DI from Peckham to avoid the down tilt fair, but it doesn't matter. Jump from left.
But getting on stream right now, it's T3 Dom, everybody's favorite furry.
Out of the up air.
I'm just going to say the reason why Dom's going to miss his combos is because he plays a hard character. It's not his fault that he plays a hard character, but fantastic. Look at that down smash.
Oh, Luis jumped right into that holy water. That's unfortunate. Luis will clean it up here. Yeah, here's the nair. That was an amazingly spaced nair. He knows the diagonal, and that's going to be it. Yep, easy stock for Luis. Yeah,
lets Luis live a lot of the times, but hey, he's living this. Look at that. He slowed down his momentum with the down beat.
It didn't do anything. 158 on Luis. These F tilts are eventually going to kill him.
Watch out for the grab too, you know?
Yeah,
you know, forward air, that works.
I feel like the rolls are like almost always covered by Dom. Like Luis earlier on.
He was pretty dejected after when he came down. But that's Dom. Dom's like very, very good, and I feel like he holds himself to a high standard, so he probably expected to take more, which is crazy to think because he was going up against like minimum like a top 50 player, and he's disappointed that he took 2 stocks in like an even match.
Louis Money, I mean, definitely did his job in taking out not only 2 of our best players in Dom and Peckham, but 2 of our only real matchup check characters, right?
So, who is SoCal sending in now?
We're sending in Kless.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I can't really deny that. And I feel like when I watch Luis in region play against like for example, Moonboy Josh, yeah, there's the Lucy in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but these 2 are playing neutral.
I would have gotten bored and gotten hit by everything. I would have ran in.
What the heck? Oh my god!
The reset! The American reset!
That was like 3 resets into... so it looks like we sent in Sauganza. So this is our other game to watch. It's really fun. A lot of the times I'll commentate it, but it'll be like with someone who has the same like biases as me. It's really fun to get. Okay, this is gonna be a kill. It's really fun to get to be on with someone who has like the opposite bias. It's just Kless should be dead, and now I'm scared because he's got go. And Kless should be very dead. And that's the chair coming out, and he's still not dead. What is going on? Okay, he's dead. He's dead.
He lost his try. Hey, check the setups. Check the setups real fast.
Sauganza just took the stock lead back for NorCal and then did this.
But yeah, fantastic job from Sauganza. I'm just going to say, Kless is going to clean this.
Kless is going to clean this.
Alright. Let's go the 9! We were talking about...
Yeah, it was horrible, and then all of a sudden it was popping off for fucking Game & Watch, and then that feels even worse.
Things are not looking good for SoCal. They're getting styled on, they're down by 2 stocks, and NorCal still has Kurama in the back. So SoCal tries to swing things back in their favor by putting out SoCal's Golden Boy.
Who do you think they're going to send out next? Who do you think SoCal's sending out next?
Oh, it looks like Chase is going to step up to bat.
Oh, it's Chase. Okay, hold on.
He's finally had enough.
For best player, but I think Chase is unbelievable.
Neutral got into immediate down smash out of desperation. I personally wouldn't go for it myself, but yeah.
That's why you're up here, not down there. I'm going to say that.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright, messing around a little bit.
What the? Who gets chaired like that?
He's not doing anything. It's using actually beats it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Chase takes Sauganza's 2 stocks while only losing 1. But then came out MFA, the 5th best player in NorCal's lineup, and he did this.
In my experience, NorCal has like a weird matchup. We have like 5 different Olimars, 10 Game & Watches. If you want to upset this thing like so badly, why not? Oh, you're trying to go for it? Alright, why not? We got purple and okay.
I don't even need to think back, but I know that Chase was probably pissed.
But MFA cleaned up, and it looked bad.
I'm sure we were all probably cheering him on and celebrating that we got like a NorCal player off the stage, but he probably didn't care. He probably like shoot us away. So like our strongest player took 3.
So like he took 3 stocks, and MFA stock is definitely valuable, but not the sort of run we were expecting or hoping for from him for sure.
NorCal already had the rating advantage, but now they're leading in stocks as well, and they still have the number 11 player in the world. And SoCal just lost its only ace.
But yeah, when Chase went down, yeah, I did not feel comfortable. And MFA is like very, very good. So who are we going to counterpick MFA with?
Oh, people are freaking out. I think people are definitely realizing that, okay, well, we need something, and we kind of need it now.
It was time for SoCal to bring out its dirty little secret.
Setting the big man. Setting the big man. Big cheater. Yeah, we're sending Nito.
Wait, what? Nito's a cheater? Well, kinda. And it's all because of this controller, which is perfectly legal, but Nito was the first one to implement Boxia at a high level, which is when you play Kazuya with a box-style controller instead of a standard gamepad controller. You might notice this controller doesn't have a stick. You do stick inputs with specific button combinations. Electric Wind Godfist is hands down the best combo move in the entire game because it puts you in so much hit stun that it looks like it came from Smash 64. Like, seriously, this is a true combo. It's balanced by forcing you to do a frame-perfect input with your joystick, which is actually pretty hard to do consistently in the heat of a moment in a real game. However, if you've rolled your fingers on a desk out of boredom, congratulations, you can EWGF every single time. This is controversial to say the least, and Nito is about to show you exactly why.
I think like we are not at a Nito barbecue when he is cooking right now. Hey, getting tossed up.
Crowd went fucking crazy because obviously you got Kazuya.
Actually, it does make sense.
I think mine is probably the most comfortable, but Nito probably has to get it. Hey, nothing to help.
That's what he paid for.
Mine hit you. Oh, that actually might be it. That hit is really bad. He's not gonna make it. Oh, wow. And it looks like he's cheating.
So much trouble finding a kill. All right, Tornado does it. He does it. Oh, drops the combo.
Mine could have been their life, but that's gonna be taken away as soon as it's given. And Nito.
Now we're like, we're up by 2 now, so I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Era, so funny. Like, I love Era. That guy's a legend.
Forcing all these interactions, and Era's gonna find a kill. One stock left for the Mishima Menace. Yeah. I think this really determines most of the he's not gonna make it either. He had no max.
And he was like very animated in his seat, so I feel like Neo would have noticed that too. Like he was probably getting a wee bit tilted by what was happening.
Get back to the box.
That's gonna be it.
Oh yeah. Whoa, what happened? What happened?
Whoa.
Wait. The setup actually disconnected.
I think Era popped off so hard he disconnected the switch from the monitor, causing the screen to go black.
Yeah, that was a big controversy because everyone on SoCal was yelling, Era bumped the table, he disconnected. Everyone else was like, dude, Nito disconnected the controller so he couldn't recover. Like, somebody had it on video. Somebody had the video and went back and is like, okay, you can see Era bumping the table. I don't know if it was on stream and they were able to go back or if somebody in the crowd had the video.
But yeah, everyone was on Neo's side at that time. And I know that Neo sometimes like feels like SoCal doesn't have his back. So I think that was nice for him that all of SoCal were cheering for him. When you're playing against Kazuya, you hate him. But when you're cheering for Kazuya, especially in the crew battle, oh, you're going crazy. Like, do all the bullshit that you want to do. The crowd's going mental. I'm pretty sure even people that weren't SoCal or NorCal were like cheering for him at that point. So yeah, that had to feel good.
Nito has now taken 8 stocks, swinging things back in SoCal's favor. But NorCal still has their best player, so that is exactly who they send out. This is a current top 15 player in the world, with 3 stocks versus someone with 1 stock who has never even made top 100. All Kurama has to do is take 1 stock before losing a stock, and his damage will get reset back to 0 with 3 full stocks. But then, this happens.
Kazuya Mishima.
Good defense.
on his execution. Now, Nino has Rage Art. This is very scary. With that up air, he is most definitely going to
armor through that.
That is going to be another stock for Nino. Nino kind of running away with this.
Oh, he wanted to style on him with that hell speed.
Nino actually got the flash spark from that, but it wasn't quite good enough. Nino baiting out. Oh, that's going to do it.
Gates of hell.
And Nino's going to take another stock. This is looking incredibly bad for Team NorCal.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. All right, Junior got this.
Crowd's going fucking crazy, like dapping Neo up, like did more than his job, got the whole crowd hyped up, brought SoCal together.
Now, SoCal finally has the rating lead and more than twice as many stocks as NorCal.
I felt at that point, I was like, we won.
To close it out, SoCal sends out their second best player, Monte. But things didn't go as expected.
That was probably the biggest surprise of the crew battle, was Monty getting sent in and just not being able to close it out. Everybody was shocked, and everybody was also just like, oh no.
Oh my God, this is so frustrating. How do you deal with this? Oh, Karama's gonna get a stock? Wait, hold on.
I think like nerves perhaps got the best of him. And I just remember seeing like a lot of like panic options, like he was up being a lot and daring a lot.
Crazy. Oh, he's gonna get that kill.
Down there, and he's gonna 3-stock Monty.
Monty not taking a single stock was wild.
And I remember actually being in the crowd and like, I still wasn't totally dejected at this point. I was like, we win this, like it's fine. We got Zenyu.
Good move.
He's discovered the B button. It's over.
It's over.
Oh, he waited a little bit too long.
Excellent CI from Zen. He's not gonna die at 143. Me personally, I would die there. Yeah.
Oh wow. Can he get the kill?
Showing off what he's got. It's not gonna do it, but that's a lot of damage.
Yep. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing about this matchup, right?
Oh, he's gonna snipe the double jump, and that's gonna.
And then Nesboy 12 comes out. Oh my God, we were not ready for Nesboy 12.
Sure enough, like we're like, okay, we're what, 5 stocks to 3 at this point? No problem. Zenyu just take a stock, maybe 2. We'll send in Marco, clean it up, no problem.
But then when he sent in Nesboy and I see what that guy does, I felt not comfortable at all, because I think Zenyu is like a very like fundamentally like strong player, plays the game that probably most people want to see it be played, and then doesn't deal with any bullshit. So if you bring out stuff against him like DLC, like Kazuya, Min Steve, I feel like he doesn't deal very well with that. But when you bring out a Ness player who knows like every magnet string and has lagged every scenario and has like got a touch of death for every hit that he gets, yeah, I was not prepared for that at all.
We didn't really have a super strong Ness in SoCal.
I don't think Zenyu was prepared either. I think he was just getting hit by some wild shit. And I'm pretty sure he like cleaned him up very fast. And I was, at this point, like I felt so comfortable that we were going to win, and now NorCal's going crazy. Oh my God, we had such a humongous lead, and Neo put in such an effort to like get us to that point, and now we're back to even, and the crowd is totally on NorCal's side. Like,
are we gonna really lose this? It's coming down to our last 1v1. Very hype, but very tense.
And like, I'm pretty sure we did not know who we were gonna send at this point.
Before I explain what in the world he's on about, if you've made it this far, you're hopefully enjoying the video. So maybe I've earned a like or subscribe in your eyes. It is the best way to support the channel, plus it's easy and free, and you can undo it later. It really does go a long way, so it's much appreciated. Alright, back to the video.
And the SoCal corner is definitely freaking out, like, who do we send in? And they're like, we send in Marco. Marco's like, I don't know if I can do it versus Ness.
Or we've been talking behind the scenes of who we're going to bring in, and we were asking if he wanted to go up. And I don't think anyone in the crowd knew it was going to be.
No one really knew who was there.
Someone from the SoCal camp saw a spectator lurking in the back of the Guildhouse venue. It was Void. The legend that began this story was seemingly SoCal's last hope. Almost against his will, they pulled him up and begged him.
You gotta win this for SoCal. Everyone's like, yeah, like when he went out there, the entire crowd like lost it, especially the SoCal side. It's like, okay, this is our ace in the hole. No one knew we had, like even us. So they brought Void in, and at this point, Void hadn't really been competing seriously. He'd kind of gone full streamer mode, and so he wasn't really playing or streaming Ultimate competitively. Genesis was kind of the first event he showed up to in a long time.
Please, Void, don't get cheese. Please play your cheese.
Joker!
Shonen, but ignoring that, getting into the match. 3 stocks, 3 stocks.
Okay.
SoCal's last hope, NorCal's last hope. We're gonna see how this goes.
I still felt confident, but then he picked Joker, and I felt less confident. Because I'd never seen Void play Joker. I'd only known him as like the Sheik player.
The initial reaction was like, oh, he's throwing.
He's all raw, real content. That's what people want. Okay.
At this point, NorCal is going f***ing nuts. They have just taken 8 stocks in a row while only losing 1, going from being down 4-10 to being up 3-2.
And the SoCal crowd was silent. NorCal crowd was going crazy. It was looking really bad. Especially like Ness is not a character you can usually make a comeback like that versus.
Despite everything that Void had gone through, the ups and downs, and focusing on content creation in other games, the words of Peckham rang true.
One thing I do remember fondly is that guy just, as a competitor, and you talk about like a professional or like someone that really like honed their craft, dude, he was so calm. I just remember like him like sitting down, he's like chewing gum, he's like completely like focused on the screen. The guy didn't like move at all for the whole time that he was up on that stage.
I mean, okay, the reason I know that he's at least been playing, that Void's been playing the game at least a little bit, but Nessboy plays this game a lot, and the grind really showing.
Ooh.
Wait,
oh,
wait!
Nessboy's gonna get hit with uppy, and he's gonna die at 40.
That was the best possible thing that could happen for SoCal, and now
NorCal
is possibly in shambles.
And Arsene is about to be on deck. This could be very bad for Noel.
Yeah. Oh,
this is good.
He's gonna take so much damage.
Incredibly big throw!
And Void is gonna seal it out with the up air. SoCal takes it. SoCal wins.
Oh man.
That was insane. What was the craziest part to you? Let me know in the comments. I read all of them. The craziest part to me is how this video almost didn't happen. That's because the whole video revolves around the recording of the crew battle itself, but you can't find it anywhere. You can search all you want, you won't find it. So when I set out to make this video in late 2023, I thought it was dead in the water. After way too much searching, I decided to message Bobak, the head TO of Genesis, but his DMs are closed on Discord and Twitter, so another dead end, I guess. But I was actually in a 3-way group chat with him and a commentator named Jet for a completely unrelated reason. So I added Bobak in the group chat to ask him about it. And he tried to help me, but it was to no avail. Jet saw my messages in the group chat and tried to help too by pointing me in the direction of someone else who might have it, but that was also a dead end. Then, Jet mentions that he saves a lot of the recordings of his commentary, but Jet didn't commentate this crew battle. But then, I got this message. That's right, the one person that happened to have a full recording of this crew battle, by a miraculous stroke of luck, happened to be in the group chat where I asked a completely different person, which I had to use because I had no other way of contacting Bobak. He didn't even commentate it. He just showed up at the end in his beautiful Mario suit and he still saved it. So huge thanks to Jet for making this video possible. And huge thanks to the people I interviewed for this video, and huge thanks to you for watching to the very end.